Am I the a-hole for kicking out my husband's pregnant sister and making him choose between me and her? My female 25 husband, male 28, doesn't have a job. He takes care of the house chores while at work. His sister, female 22, came to stay with us a few weeks ago because of a fight she had with her parents. Neither wanted to tell us what happened. I didn't want her here. She isn't in school, doesn't work, doesn't do anything to help with the chores, is a spoiled brat, acts entitled, etc. I only agreed to let her stay here for a week. It's been 6 weeks. I honestly can't stand to live with her anymore. She makes a mess everywhere, has parties when me and hubby aren't home, plays music on max volume till 4 in the morning. She's rude, breaks stuff, and disrespects all my boundaries and house rules. Finances aren't good either with the extra expenses. So last night, I sat them down and told them that she needs to leave in a week because I'm done. I haven't had a real night's sleep in 6 weeks. The apartment is a mess because my husband can't keep up with the mess she makes. And I'm reaching rock bottom with the expenses. He asked if I would let her stay if she would get a job, and I said yes. That would mean she won't have the energy to stay up till 4 a.m. and make a mess, and she will also contribute financially. She ran out screaming that she isn't getting a job, and that I'm a witch. I called mother-in-law and asked her again why they had a fight. Well, she's pregnant. Baby daddy disappeared into the night when he heard the news. She expected her parents to provide, and they said no, so she came here. I told my husband, and he was shocked but said we can't kick her out now. I said, yes, we can, and we are. I will not be financially responsible for her anymore. I will not be financially responsible for her child. I will not have a child in my home as I strongly dislike kids. I don't need the noise, the mess, the smell, the extra expenses. Hubby said he understands that I don't want any of this, but we can't kick her out because she has nowhere to go since his parents won't let her move back home. I simply said either she goes or I go. I'm sick of him enabling her behavior. He always makes excuses for her. He bends backwards for her. Well, I'm not going to. She is an adult. She isn't in school. She doesn't work. She wants to have a baby? Okay, then she needs to grow up and provide for herself. She isn't disabled, sick, mentally incapacitated, or anything else that would stop her from working. She just doesn't want to work. Her parents spoiled her too much when she was younger, and now she thinks the world revolves around her. My friends and my in-laws agree with me, but my parents say I'm the a-hole for kicking out a pregnant girl and making my husband choose between me and her. I'm not changing my decision no matter what. If she's not out in a week, I will be. But I'm curious if I'm the a-hole. Now for the top comments. Not the a-hole. Your sister-in-law, huge a-hole. Your husband, enabling a-hole. If your parents want to take her spoiled butt in, great. If they don't, then they can stop being a-holes about your decision. You literally took the words out of my mouth. Mom and Dad, her own parents won't shelter her. But if you want to, I'll share your address and you can provide her with a home and pay for her expenses and clean up after her. Your husband, I'm sorry, is not very smart. He doesn't work or provide any financial contribution, and he can't even clean up enough behind one person or cause her to be less messy. And this solution after she can't go to school or get a job or behave like a good roommate or clean up after herself is that she deserves a place to stay because she got herself pregnant and has no plan, when even his own parents won't shelter her, is we have to house her now. That way we can not only do all of these bad things but also be responsible for her child. You and your husband should talk to your in-laws. They are the ones who created this monster, and he's the one who keeps feeding it, not the a-hole. In-laws aren't going to do anything. They kicked the sister out but refused to tell their son why so that he'd take her in and she'd become his problem. Bet if sister does get kicked out, Opie and her husband will catch grief from the in-laws for kicking out his pregnant sister. Not the a-hole, but Opie, you already have 2 kids in the house and you're just trying to get rid of one of them. Make it a twofer and reclaim your life. If Opie does that, the Xbox and couch will get lonely. Not the a-hole. If your parents say you're the a-hole, then let them take care of her themselves. If your friends and even her own parents agree with you, then I don't think you need any more confirmation from anyone. You don't need to feel guilty over this. Next story. Am I the a-hole for pulling my attendance from my sister's wedding after already RSVPing yes? I lost my husband and the father of my children 5 years ago. We had been together from the age of 17, had married in our 20s, and he passed at the age of 31. Our children were very young. The last 5 years, I have missed him like crazy, and have poured myself into focusing on my children, my hobbies, and even furthering my career more. I have no interest in dating or finding a new partner. My sister and a couple of other family members have been trying to encourage me to find a new partner, to find a dad for my kids, to look for more love. I have zero interest. It's something I have discussed with my sister on repeat, and she has told me she doesn't understand. Even as a teen, I had zero interest in dating. My husband was the exception. I loved him. I was best friends with him. We were compatible in every way, and we found a relationship that worked for the two of us and gave us a life better than we had planned on. My interest in dating has not sparked now in my 30s and widowed. I have pleaded with my sister to understand, to know that I am living the life I want to live, and that I am not some broken-hearted shell who has paused my life. It seemed as though she accepted it. She announced her engagement months ago, sent invites for her February wedding in December, and she and her fiancé left a note that they would cover the cost of the hotel for me, because they are aware I am now a single mom, and that leaving my 3 kids with my in-laws covers some expense but not all. So, I RSVP'd yes. Then over Christmas, my brother told me my sister has rounded up many single men to invite to the wedding, and she has recruited some people to help her play matchmaker for me at her wedding. He said it was why she paid for the hotel for me and everything. I was not happy. The friend she recruited to help confirmed it to me too. She said my sister has been wanting to find me the perfect man and has planned it all. I was so done at this point that I called my sister, told her I knew what she was up to, and I would no longer be attending her wedding, and I was not going to trust her again. She got so upset and told me I was overreacting. My parents also chimed in and told me the same. They said I could just ignore her plan and attend and support my sister. My sister keeps telling me I need to come, and then she got mad saying she's trying to save me for myself. The controversy is rumbling almost a week after I told her. Am I the a-hole? Not the a-hole. You don't want to date. That is valid, and that's what your sister needs to accept. Whether or not you find a partner should be done entirely on your timeline and terms, not hers. The sister sounds like a monster. Attempting to surprise Opie by ignoring their boundaries and playing matchmaker at her own wedding? Like, come on, she needs to stop trying to force it. Sounds like Opie's sister hopes that without the kids in tow, she'll let her hair down. And with a hotel room at the venue, she'll be comfortable drinking more than she usually would, letting her inhibitions down and maybe ending up hooking up with someone. Freaking awful. Not the a-hole. She doesn't get to decide when it's time for you to move on. It was a scummy move for her to set up this whole scheme behind your back, and I don't blame you for not going. Yup, especially since OP has told her repeatedly that she does not want to date. Sister is just another busybody trying to save people from themselves. Not the a-hole. Not the a-hole. How does she even have the time to set up such an elaborate scheme when she's supposed to be planning a wedding? Not sure, but it's probably why she recruited others to help her. Screw her, and go no contact with all of them until they understand. Don't let your parents have access to your children either. I have a feeling they'll poison the kids against you for not giving them a new dad. Not the a-hole. Next story. Am I the a-hole for wearing my engagement ring when I knew my stepsister was getting engaged? I, 28 female, got engaged at the beginning of December. For Christmas, I was staying with my mom and stepdad, and they were hosting my stepdad's whole family. Step-siblings, mother, brothers, cousins, plus families for a New Year's party. Prior to this, my stepsister, 29 female, Rachel's now fiancé Matt, informed my parents that he was going to propose and asked if it would be okay to do it at a party, and my parents agreed. For the party, everyone was dressing up, and obviously I was wearing my engagement ring. Everybody already knew I was engaged, but it was the first time they'd seen the ring in person. So, at the start of the party, everyone was interested in seeing it. I did notice Matt was being a bit cold with me, but I thought it was nerves. The proposal happened and it was beautiful. Everyone congratulated Rachel, but it was kind of a 50-50 on people wanting to look at and compliment her ring and mine. A lot of comparisons were made, nothing in kind, and everyone was really happy for Rachel, as was I. The day after, Rachel and Matt blew up about me wearing my ring to the party. Rachel said I was deliberately trying to draw attention to myself on her special night, and that since I knew beforehand that she was getting engaged, I shouldn't have worn my ring, since I don't always wear it anyway. I don't really agree with this, since I've been engaged for weeks and everyone already knew about it. It's not like I stole her thunder, nor did I intend to by wearing my ring. I wore it because I'm engaged, so it's what you do. Matt then accused me of embarrassing him by wearing my colossally large ring, when I knew Rachel's wouldn't be anywhere near as big, and intentionally showing him up in front of the family. He even went on about the other jewelry I wore. My stepdad called them both stupid for their outburst. My stepbrother says there's no way I could have known that's how they'd feel. It's not like they asked me not to wear it. My mom says while she knows I didn't do it deliberately, she can see where Rachel is coming from since everyone preferred my ring to hers. She also said that given that my ring is quite unique, I should have considered it would draw attention. Edit. I don't always wear it when I'm loafing around the house all day because I paint and bake and play with my dogs. It's heavy and gets caught in things. I don't not wear it because it's ostentatious. If I'm dressed and going out, even to the grocery store, I wear it. Just not when I'm doing house things. Now for the top comments. Not a-hole. You are engaged. It is normal for you to wear your ring, especially at family occasions. What's next? Can you not bring your husband to their wedding because any reminder that anyone else has ever gotten married would be upstaging their day? I'm confused. Shouldn't Opie be wearing her ring all the time? Possibly except while bathing or bread baking? I know I kept mine on 24/7. Not the a-hole. You don't stop being engaged just because other people get engaged. Also, if he feels you stole the thunder because your ring is nicer, he's completely missing the point of marriage. I'm thinking this is it, the ring envy. Not the a-hole. You didn't get engaged at a party. People already knew you were engaged. And this was an annual holiday get-together where people hadn't seen you in person for a while. Rachel and Matt are being silly, and your stepdad is right. This was stupid. But it was Rachel's special night. Rachel acts like the whole party was her engagement party, instead of a family gathering where she happened to get engaged. Last story. Am I the a-hole for asking my brother to share his daughter's inheritance from our cousin with my stepdaughter? My cousin Laura passed last year, which was devastating for our whole family. There is now some conflict with the inheritance. Laura's will left everything to her husband and future children, but if not, a third would go to her parents and a third to charity. The final third to be divided between 6 nibblings accessible when they turn 18. Laura was an only child, so the nibblings in question are her cousin's kids. Me and my brother are her only cousins from her mom's side, my aunt, but from her dad's she has 9. From all of us, there are a total of 7 kids, including my brother's daughter and my stepdaughter. And me and my stepdaughter were hurt when we realized my stepdaughter wasn't a part of this third. Recently, I brought up to my brother that he should share niece's inheritance with my stepdaughter. I said it's more fair this way, and would lower resentment between the kids later on. My niece is only 5 compared to my stepdaughter who's 16, so it would be more useful for her in the near future. Also, I'm not saying it has to be half and half, but just a portion for stepdaughter. My brother didn't take this well and went off, saying the money is for his daughter and we're being greedy. But I got upset and said, no one in this family really cares about stepdaughter and are more focused on blood ties. He's angry with me, but some other people who know what happened is on my side. Am I the a-hole? You're the a-hole. Like a lot. This is incredibly bad form on your part. Your cousin chose who she wanted her estate to be divided amongst. Does it suck that your stepdaughter wasn't one of the people? Sure. That doesn't give you the right to demand that somebody give her a share of the inheritance. That's just crude and gross. It stood out to me that Opie's only asking the blood brother to give up a portion of his child's. I wonder why Opie isn't asking the other cousins. Oh, that's right. They aren't related. The irony. Yep. I guess blood ties matter to Opie when convenient. Fact is that cousin's will sounds quite specific. It is not Opie's right to demand things from people who've received their rightful share based on cousin's decisions. So let me reverse this one for you. Your stepdaughter receives an inheritance from either her mother or father's family. Are you going to give chunks of it out to the other kids? After all, you wouldn't want there to be resentment because your stepdaughter got something and they didn't, right? And if your family, after finding out about your stepdaughter's inheritance, called and said that she should fork over some of it over to make things fair, would you agree to it? Or would you say that they weren't related to her family, so they should get nothing? You're disrespecting your cousin's wishes by doing this. You are being entitled, and you are teaching your stepdaughter entitlement. You are demanding that your niece have less, so your stepdaughter can have something, and you don't think that would cause resentment when she grows up and finds out? You want to take your niece's money from her, and your reasoning is that she's 5 and doesn't need it, as if that money can't be put away for when she does need it. I'm going to be honest, you're behaving like a vulture. Your cousin dies and you don't think you've got fair share of the meat, so you're trying to snatch it out of the mouths of others. Do you really think this is acceptable? If your brother passes first, will you demand his daughter hand over some of her inheritance to your stepdaughter to make things fair? Because that is where your logic is taking you. You're the a-hole and you owe your brother an apology. An inheritance is a privilege, not a right. You could have explained this to your stepdaughter, pointed out lots of others weren't included, and told her that money doesn't equal love. Instead, you want to snatch money from your niece. Do better. Also, while it sucks in some situations, blood ties are very important to people. Exactly. Thing is, if OP's stepdaughter inherited things and his brother asked for some of it, even if his brother and niece had a relationship with whoever left the inheritance, I'm sure OP's answer would be that they aren't related so they get nothing. Also, I'm sure if this situation were reversed, OP would be appalled. I just noticed this is money in a trust to be accessed when the kids are 18. So OP is asking his brother to raid his niece's trust. That's so scummy and could get the brother into trouble. This isn't about blood or people not loving/caring about the stepdaughter. It's about morality. No one else who wasn't left anything is proposing to take money from a 5-year-old.